From its launch in the late 1980s to this day, the TOS-1 remains one of the most lethal weapons within Russia's arsenal. The multiple rocket launcher can shatter enemy fortifications along a vast area and within a short range, while mounted on a T-72 tank chassis or other lightly armored vehicles. This devastating weapon was kept a secret from its initial conception in the 1970s to its deployment many years later. But as recently as late 2020, the TOS-1 was still in service and being upgraded into a much more modern thermobaric weapon. A lethal idea. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union got interested in the mechanics of fuel-air explosives, or FAEs. These lethal pieces of artillery were two-charge weapons. A flammable gas cloud would first disperse and then ignite, provoking a blast that expanded into a wide radius. It's accurate to say that FAEs detonated the air, a tactic that could cause a lot of harm to the enemy in enclosed spaces and reinforced structures like bunkers or tunnels. These weapons were used by the US military in the Vietnam War, inspiring the Soviet Union to start a program of their own. The concept for the TOS-1 originated in the late 1970s, but wasn't developed until the early 1980s. The idea consisted of a heavy short-range multiple rocket launcher with both incendiary and thermobaric or FAE rockets. The design was similar to other multiple rocket launcher systems, but this one could fire several types of rockets within a shorter range. The Russian TOS-1 is a 220mm 30 or 24-barrel multiple rocket launcher and thermobaric weapon mounted on a T-72 tank chassis, powered by the V-84-1 diesel engine, capable of 840 horsepower. It's equipped with a self-entrenching blade and armor protection similar to that of the T-72. The weapon was created at the Omsk Transmas Design Bureau in Omsk, and its combat system includes a combat vehicle, the rockets, and a TZM loading vehicle, in addition to the T-72 main chassis. The TZM transports and reloads the rockets employing a crane. The TOS-1 was nicknamed Burantino due to its prominent nose and the Russian retelling of Pinocchio. And it is not assigned to the artillery units of the Russian armed forces, but is part of the Russian nuclear, biological, and chemical protection troops. The weapon's protruding launcher unit can unleash a full salvo in 15 seconds and cover an area of 200 by 400 meters, while the tank can stop and fire within 90 seconds at a visible target. A robust piece of machinery, the TOS-1 was designed to engage enemies ranging from military personnel to light armored vehicles or buildings, and it is also used to clear fortified constructions. Although its maximum firing range is 3.5 kilometers, the weapon is used as a fire support platform for infantry and heavy armor. It acts within the combat order of infantry and tanks, with the primary purpose of providing direct fire support. The weapon's crew consists of a commander, a gunner, and a driver, and the weapon is fitted with a modern fire control system that provides firing procedures and guidance to avoid exposing them to enemy fire, as it is controlled from the inside. Operation. A human target can perish from overpressure and combustion, damage to internal organs from the blast, or suffocation within the vacuumed atmosphere, depending on the proximity to the detonation. Victims can also suffer from ruptured eardrums, blindness, or loss of consciousness, making the weapon one of the most dreadful examples of modern warfare. The TOS-1 was first used in combat in Panjshir Valley as part of the Soviet occupation of Afghanistan. It then played a role in the Second Chechen War in 1999 during the Battle of Grozny, after the Russian Federation was reorganized. The FAEs were used against urban settings there, costing innumerable civilian lives. In 2001, the Burantino was succeeded by the Blazing Sun TOS-1A Saint-Sepyok. Its range was vastly expanded from 3.5 to 6 kilometers, and it had longer launching tubes and a renewed chassis. In addition, the number of launching tubes was reduced from 30 to 24. The rockets used by this version include the NURS MO-10104, which is 10 feet 10 inches long and weighs 381 pounds, and the MO-10104M, which is 12 feet 2 inches long and weighs 478 pounds. The system was modernized again in 2016 with active protection and a new engine, along with several other improvements, and was finally delivered in 2018. Even though the use of this class of weapon is somewhat limited, many countries across Asia have purchased and added it to their arsenals. TOS-1As were used by the Iraqi army against the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant militants between 2014 and 2017, including the recapture of Jurf al-Sakar from ISIL forces in 2014 and that of the city of Mosul in 2017. These areas were known to be devoid of civilians. Similarly, the Syrian military deployed them during the Syrian civil war to fight anti-government forces. From 2015 to 2018, the Syrian army used the flamethrower on rebel forces and terrorists. The Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe also reported in 2015 that a TOS-1 was sighted in eastern Ukraine in a rebel training area. Many other countries employed the TOS-1, including Algeria, Armenia, Kazakhstan, Saudi Arabia, and Azerbaijan, which used it against the Nagorno-Karabakh separatists in 2016 and as recently as September of 2020. TOS-2 TOSOCHKA. Unlike many nations that have ceased to use flamethrowers as a combat weapon, Russia has not. In reality, Moscow has doubled down on its efforts to develop more powerful armament. The Russian military announced in 2021 that a new version of the rocket, the TOS-2 TOSOCHKA, is currently undergoing testing. A derivative of the TOS-1A, the TOSOCHKA features improved advances. Unlike its predecessors, a new flamethrower is mounted on a wheeled chassis on top of the Ural truck, allowing increased carrying and cross-country capability. It is said to resemble the legendary BM-13 multiple rocket launcher from World War II, known as the Katyusha by the Soviets and Stalin's organ by the Germans. The Russian Defense Ministry also explained that the new model has an outfitted crane and no longer needs a transporter loader vehicle, and added that its modern electronic warfare system protects it from precision weapons. Though it is less armored than older versions, its potential to crush the enemy is more significant. With an increased range, in addition to fully automated sighting, firing, and fire control systems, the TOS-2 has the potential to seamlessly make its way through the 21st century. Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov, chief of Russia's Chemical, Biological, and Radiation Protection Forces, expressed that, quote, "Heavy flamethrower TOS-2 is one of the newest weapons for the RCBD, Radiological, Chemical, and Biological Defense Troops." During test runs at the Kavkaz 2020 military drills in September of 2020 at the Kapustin Yar in the Astrakhan region, the improved system destroyed a mock advance of armored ranks with unguided ordnance. The guest of honor at the main drill stage was Russian Federation President Vladimir Putin. Thank you for watching our video. Let us know what you think of this potent piece of machinery in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channels and give us a thumbs up.